Hello all. Hi, it's Tees. Good day. Good afternoon. Good evening. I hope all are well. Hope all are safe. I just want to make another point of what I noticed. I've noticed with us as a people, as the American melanated people, the American blacks. It could even just be the whole entire African family. But just speaking of America, since this is where I am, and you have to start at home. I'm thinking our problem is we go to the problem for a solution, and that plays a huge role in why we are still where we are today and why we are making no progress, and basically why we're, if not at the same place, in the worst place. And if I can explain, because whenever it comes to justice, finances, making reports or bringing forth issues or even having inventions, we tend to go to the problem for the solution for that. For instance, every invention or every earnings or winnings that we've earned, we basically go to the problem. And the problem in this country are groups of people who are not for us, who do not support us, and who do not wish to have us, basically, who are complicit with our demise. And I don't want to just blame it on pink people. I don't want to just blame it on Asians. So basically, anybody who's not for you. And this could be your own people too. So the problem is, okay, for instance, winning the lottery. I don't know if the problem started by going through that particular lottery. Even with the inventions, we have an invention and we go to the problem for a solution. So if you cut my water off, I create a machine to create water, and then I go to the person who cut my water off, or the people who cut my water off, or who's okay with having my water cut off. And then and then we wonder, why was my invention stolen, destroyed, or why was I missing, or why am I dead now? Because there's been so many, even when it comes to like finances. Okay, you won the lottery, or you won a lawsuit, or you have like property through a will or trust, or even having the world that's supposed to be rightfully yours, or even a country that's supposed to be rightfully yours. It's not quite yours because for some reason we're still in bed with the problem, And I don't know if some people feel like, well, I can't run from the problem, or we just got to deal with it, or that's a part of life, or whatever the case may be. That is one of the main issues and reasons why we are still at ground zero. And I know they'll say that, oh, well, you have to go through legal stuff. But in order to change a nasty system, you have to remove yourself from the system in order to tear it down, And I'm not saying that you can't work from the inside out, like, okay, I'm going to burn the building down with me in it. But I'm thinking the best bet is to step away from all of it, because the system it can't shut down, or the system can't come to a close with our participation. Like, literally, I want to say for at least 10 years now, they said America is falling or America is dead. And America's probably been dead for 100 years. But guess who's keeping it alive? And guess who's keeping it afloat? And guess who keeps playing the game? So it's kind of one of them things. We sometimes can be our worst enemy just by going back to the enemy for help. Like, I need money. You stole my money. And then I either go to you. And it's not saying that you can't go to somebody, go to them and just ask them politely one time before you raise hell. But it's like our approach. Like, again, if I have an invention, the last thing that I should be doing is going to the people or to the groups of people who I know don't have my best interests at heart. And like I say, so if I have an invention, I'm not going to go to the wrong people in order to put that invention out there, if that makes any sense. Because it's one of those things, if you can't trust your own people, you really can't afford to go out of bounds to try to elevate your invention. I'm thinking if you have an invention and it works, if you just go out there and utilize it and, test drive it on your own, it should expand on its own, because it's going to bring in a crowd. Like with the guy with the water machine, he didn't probably have to tell the news that he had a water machine. I don't even think he did. Maybe he just drew a lot of attention. And if you gain a lot of attention, you just gain a lot of attention. That's just you, having you being popular or having a popular product. But I would say just like, okay, even if you have an airplane, okay, you can fly the airplane around, and then you may just have to eventually create your own landing and takeoff grounds. You know, because I'm not certain if you make an, or invent or build an airplane and LAX, sure, you can land here, and if they do, that might be our last landing. You know, like you just don't know. You don't know who you're dealing with. And even if they are willing to help you, what were you willing to do before I had this invention, or before I was quote unquote popular or became a celebrity? What was your views of me before I had something that caught your attention or intrigued you? You know? And even when it comes to will and trust, like you go, oh, okay, well, I'm the owner of this building, and then here comes the city. They have all of these ordinances now. Oh, now you got to do X, Y, you know. So it's like, how do you get the city out of your hair? Like, how do you get them off? And again, it might feel like, oh, well, you got to go through them for paperwork or for legal stuff, or you got to do this. And I'm thinking like, well, you only got to do that in an active system. Are you a part of the system? And if so, then you probably can't complain about the system then, you know? And then there are ways to get out of the system, but it's like it's not so easy now because we're all still connected and participating in the system. I frankly was in the system, I want to say since before birth. I was already signed over. So basically I was already, I don't know if you call it identity theft, kidnap, murder. I don't know what it is, but it's pretty much like I'm already included in a fraudulent contract, so to speak. And then again, do you go to the same crooked people to get you out of the contract? You know what I mean? As far as going through the law, once you actually sit back and smell the roses, at the end of the day, everything is a fraud, which is probably why they can't really reverse it, because it's like, I can't imagine stepping down to give the have-nots the throne back, you know? So it's kind of like, But I'm just thinking, just to think smaller again. Our problem is going to the problem for solution. I'm having issues with certain groups of people. And if that's the case, you shouldn't be in bed with those groups of people. And then you shouldn't be asking, why are you dead, or why are you missing? that part blows me. And some people think that they're winning. I go, okay, well, I'm playing for the other team. Either way you slice it. I'm either playing for the other team as a same-sexer, or playing for the other team as going outside of my race or category. And some people take that as oh, they're winning, or they have a leg up on the world. And most of that end in rude awakenings. And also too, I want to say, like, for like it's off subject, but basically for any lurkers, because I've noticed this too. And at first I didn't care. Like, I didn't care maybe a year ago, because I was just more just talking. But I'm thinking now, what I don't like is strange activity. So my thing is, if you're literally just watching me to keep tabs or to get updates or to be weird, I really would appreciate it if you at least leave a comment or like, because it's right now it's just getting weird. It's making me want to just start over with a different name and just start babbling under a Jay-Z picture or something, because it's just like, this is just, I don't like strange activity. And then once it comes around me, I'm not showing any mercy, because I don't do strange or weird business. But I understand I'm living in a weird, nasty, strange world. But if you could just step back away from my channel, especially if it's not productive. Like, if it's not, okay, I'm productively giving you a comment or a like, just to let you know, okay, that one view came from that one person that actually liked the video, versus somebody that's just watching. Because I'm sure you're watching from a tablet or a phone, somewhere where you can hit the like. You can even hit the like button on the TV. So, and I'm sure you can leave a comment too. But it's like, it's one of those things, you don't necessarily have to make yourself known. And even if you don't like the video, put a thumbs down, even though you can't see the thumbs down. But I don't know, I just don't like people watching from the background, as far as like keeping updates or to keep tabs on people, or to be nosy. Like, I'm going to be the secret sicko in the background. No. But anyway, yeah, so I'm thinking it's time to create your own lane and your own path. Because another thing too that we say, oh, we never get credit for the things that we do. We invented this and that, and we've been great actors and performances, and we made great TV shows, and we get no credit for it. Okay, well, who are you doing business with? Are you doing business with Hollywood? That's probably why you're not getting paid. That's probably why you're not getting the recognition. Who's doing your TV shows? Are you doing TV shows with people who are okay with not paying you? Because I guess who's ever the producers of the Monique show, the Martin Lawrence show, I want to say Bill Cosby show. You know how like shows like that, like the shows that are very popular, people like them and they look forward to them. But those the actors and actresses in those TV shows, they got none of the credit or the recognition for or even the money. They said they made millions and billions off those TV shows. You might get $2 and $3 because it's like, who are you doing business with? Okay, yeah, yes, I'm known. I'm on TV. Everyone knows me, but that's it. I'm not going to get paid for my work, so to speak. Even with your actors and actresses, I'm in Hollywood. I'm doing these movies and all this. And not only am I not getting paid, I'm not getting any awards for it. That's another thing too. We need to create our own award show. Something that's not controlled by them. Because I can promise you, you don't really need the pat on the head from pink people or Asians or whoever else call themselves, or Jews, whoever else call themselves running the show, that we feel like we need their approval. You don't absolutely have to have the pat on the head from a Jew, a pink person, or an Asian or something, or whoever else call themselves running the world. You know, while you're supposed to be the one getting the crumbs, but yet you're doing all the work, and yet you're the one with all of the trinkets. Like literally everything did stem from, even with the music. They're complaining about country music, but no one complained when it got ripped out of our hands maybe a century ago. You know? So it's just getting kind of strange now how it's like we're literally only here to just be production and reproduction. Like, okay, I'm just here to put out a new song, or I'm here to put out a new genre, here to make new inventions, or here to create new languages, and here's somebody come picking it up. You know, it's like I'm literally just still the machine of the world, making everything for the world. Why they get all the credit and all the benefits, and if I'm lucky, I get the crumbs. That's why it's important for us to create our own lane. So therefore, you don't need anybody to pat you on the head when you create a movie, or when you create a new genre of music, or when you have inventions, or whatever the case may be. If you're a great actor or actress, we have our own zone. So therefore, as soon as you do it, you're going to get that pat on the head. Like, oh wow, you created an airplane. Here's the pat on your head now. So 50 years on down the line, you don't have to wait for the pat on the head from NASA. Like I said, they're doing it with these awards, with the Hollywood awards, or music awards, the movie awards, and all that. And you'll have your black actors and actresses looking like, whoa, how is it? I've been doing show business for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 plus years, and I'm either just now getting an award, or I never received an award. So I'm thinking the Martin Lawrence show, which was back in the day, like in the 90s sometime, and it's still popular up today. Like everyone knows Martin Lawrence. I'm sure almost everyone grew up to, like literally, like you'll know, and I'm sure it was a pretty hot show. But it said that the show didn't receive an award, but didn't receive an award by who? Like, who are they waiting to receive an award by? You see what I'm saying? If I give you an award, is it just as good as a Grammy or an Emmy? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And I'm thinking we're waiting for that pat on the head. Like, okay, I'm not successful, I don't have an award. If it doesn't come from you with the pat on the head, this didn't come from the Grammys, or this didn't come, from the Emmys or the Oscars. Even the Oscars, I think there's a story behind Black History with the Oscars too, but it just goes so deep. I'm thinking now is just the time to separate ourselves, or at least the ones who there's hope for, because there's some of us, or a lot of us, I don't want to say most, even though I almost wanted to, but it's like some of us that there's just no hope for. But the ones that there are hope for, the ones who actually still, have a fighting chance, I'm thinking it's time to separate, and then therefore keep your trinkets and keep your benefits and all of your qualities to yourself, so you can learn and grow in your own department, and not be around people who are okay and complicit with your demise. Because then therefore it'll be no problem once they get you where they want you. It'll be no problem for them not to put you out of business. For example, Prince, example, Michael Jackson, example, there's been a few. Whitney Houston. There's a whole lot more. But when you get us to a certain level, and you're working for these certain industries, or you're under these certain record labels, it's like You can only get so big and so high when you're in the midst of certain calibers of people or under these certain companies and, record labels, as a performer or an artist. So that's why I'm thinking, like, it's important to just get into our own zone. So then, therefore, again, you won't need the pat on the head, and then you won't have to worry about, like, I guess I can't really say you won't have to worry about coming up short, because they probably still will be hating, because they probably will, because they can't. That's another thing they don't. They don't want your independence. So, like, sometimes you may just have to clear the zone just in order to live in peace. Because can you really live in peace? With people lurking to make sure that you don't have anything. And honestly, too, there was another story with a man. I guess he won like 150 million. He didn't receive the 100. He had to literally sue for it. He didn't get it because what was said that what he would do with the money. So basically, he was going to be productive with the money. So that's why he didn't receive 150 million. And that's another thing too. People want to be in our business too. I think we got too many people in our mix. They really want to know, what are you doing? How did you get that? If you give all niggers $1 million and we blow it on crack, then that should be a benefit for the crack department. So it's like one of them things where it's like, oh, well, if we give you a bunch of money, you'll just dick it off. And I'm thinking, like, wouldn't that still be beneficial for you if I'm just going to blow it or throw it in the air? But no, the main issue is they don't want you to have money because they know that you may do something productive with it. Because again, if I'm just going to spend it on drugs and at the strip club, then how is that an issue to the world, other than making the world rich while I go poor? The problem is you may do something positive with that money, and that's why you must get none of it. You see what I'm saying? So there's a reason why we get capped while everyone else gets elevated. Notice how the migrants that come here, you could swim here, you're automatically set, or at least some of them, you're automatically set. You see how you come here, you can live like a king and a queen. Even if you don't get nothing, you're still gonna live like a king and a queen because you're in an established country, or that appears to be cool, and then hell, to the outside looking in, hell, this is the business, this is the truth to be here, So even if I don't have anything, even if I am homeless when I get here, wow, I'm in a beautiful country, quote unquote. So they get to live and elevate, and then you got to stay at ground zero? No. You have to remove yourself from that toxic situation. Remove yourself from where you are capped. If you know you can't speak your mind, or you can't live in this department, get out of that department and get somewhere where you can learn and grow in peace. Caps on in peace. And if you got to clear that zone, then so be it. Because that's the last thing that you need. You're trying to learn and elevate and grow. And then here you got people that want to do, they want to do part 2 of Tulsa, or part 50 of Tulsa, because I'm sure that's not Tulsa. It didn't start and end at Tulsa, as far as like them trying to tear down black businesses or black communities that are productive and actually thriving. Because it happens all the time. It's like whenever you thrive, you got to be brought down a notch. And that's the problem. Well, where are you to where you can't thrive in peace? Or who are you around that you can't thrive in peace? That's the problem. So get rid of the problem in order to reach a solution. Do not go to the problem for a solution. Get rid of the problem.